Hello everyone, welcome back to New Wave Global, and I'm Raza Rumi back with the updates on Iran war. So President Trump just gave Iran 2 weeks to negotiate or face US military action. But what does that deadline actually mean? Is it a bluff or a real ticking clock? So today we'll cover number one, the policy choices Trump faces, what the MAGA voices and his advisors are saying, and of course, because I'm from Pakistan, Pakistan's role in the strategy, because the Pakistan's field marshal just met Trump, and Iran's power to retaliate and the risk of regime collapse. Let's just get into it. It's too complicated. It's getting even more dangerous by the day. So what are Trump's options? Well, he has three clear-cut options. Number one, diplomacy. Extend the freeze on Iran's uranium in return for sanctions relief, reviving talks from Oman and Muscat. Second option, limited strike, hit Fordo or Natanz with bunker busters, the B-2s, the infamous B-2s, enough to slow Tehran, but stop short of regime change. And many, media outlets are reporting on this option. And a full-blown war, which is, of course, really dire. Join Israel in a broad air campaign, hit their bases, nuclear sites, risking massive escalations. So senior diplomat Aaron David Miller says Trump got on the tiger and he's riding it. The 2-week clock is political theater, military prep time, and optics rolled into one. So let's get to what Donald Trump, as the president of America and a politician, is hearing. So his MAGA crowd, his base, is split. So there are isolationists like Steve Bannon and Marjorie Taylor Greene. They are warning this sounds too much like Iraq forever war. And hawkish voices like Lindsey Graham argue Iran's nuclear program must be stopped now. So a recent poll showed that only 45 to 57% of Americans support military action, though the majority still wants some kind of diplomatic solution. Inside the White House, Trump has shuffled advisors, isolationists like Hegseth and Gabbard sidelined, hawks given more say. It's a tug of war between America first restraint and global strike strategy, or to keep the American power and hegemony intact. Now let's get back to what I also wanted to bring into this video is Pakistan's geopolitical role. Now Pakistan is just next to Iran, next to China, and it plays a quiet but vital role. As a US partner and a long-time partner with ups and downs in the region, Pakistan may provide logistical help, intelligence, or diplomatic support. But Islamabad also needs to manage its own Iran policy, balancing ties with Iran and the US amid rising regional tension. Within Pakistanis, there's broad support for Iran and against any further strikes in Iran. And Pakistan's military has to also act on the back channel, easing Islamabad-Washington relations. But if Donald Trump escalates, Pakistan will be in the wings, potentially stopping the region from igniting further. It could also play a role of a messenger, but let's see how far Iranians are willing to listen to Pakistan. Diplomacy is still on the table, though. Diplomats in Geneva, Oman, talks are continuing, lots of communication, but with caveats. Negotiations in Oman and Geneva, though direct US presence is absent. Iran's proposals include pause nuclear enrichment at 3.67%, allow IAEA inspections, and get access to frozen funds in return. But moderates in Iran warn against collapse of diplomacy, while hardliners thrive on confrontation. That's what they've been riling up the public for years. Trump's maximum pressure campaign, new oil export sanctions, gives the US leverage but also raises internal Iranian instability. Now, suppose this war theater expands, broadens. What are the options with Iran? Footage of missiles you can see, their drills, they are all up and sort of ready. Iran can hit back in multiple ways. It has already been hitting back, and you can see the strikes in Israel are already causing a lot of consternation. But the real problem will be if Iran hits US bases in Gulf and Israel, and the proxies Hezbollah and Hamas open new fronts. And I think we already have talked about cyber attacks or US financial systems and infrastructure, and then maritime disruption in critical shipping lanes. What's the risk? Escalation and civilian casualties. Israel has already threatened that it's going to continue these strikes, and unfortunately more Iranians could die in that situation. Now, will Iran's regime fall if talks fail and bombs continue to fly? The opinion is mixed. Some say it's unlikely. The IGRC is a sturdy institution. In wars, Iran tends to rally around the flag. Economic pain has existed for decades, but cracks in the regime haven't translated into mass defections. Killing nuclear sites or bombing them may delay their program, but it won't dismantle authority. Worst case, Iran matches US strikes with sustained conventional and asymmetrical campaigns. In short, war does not equal collapse. Chaos, yes. Regime change, maybe, maybe not. And it's all open up for grabs. So what are we left with here? This 2-week ultimatum is not based on a magic diplomacy formula, but a political calculation, a hard calculation. Advisors are arguing in Washington, D.C. Pakistan has been playing a quiet diplomatic role behind the scenes, and Iran's ready to defend what it sees its, ultimate independence and sovereignty. So a limited strike could work tactically. Full-scale war is a dangerous gambit. Regime collapse, so far, improbable, though lots of efforts are underway, trust me. So what happens in these 2 weeks could shape the Middle East's next decade, if not more. We have seen what happened in Iraq and other places. It's an ongoing thing. And so I would say that we have to hope that this does not escalate. And do leave a comment if you are with Donald Trump's 2-week strategy, or some are calling it a political showtime. So I would really like to hear from you, your comments. Do like and subscribe our channel, and don't forget to give your comments. I'd like to hear from you, and let's see what you think is going to happen. Whatever happens, we should not have more chaos, more killings of civilians, and ultimately a ceasefire would be the best option. But is Israel ready? Is Iran ready? And above all, is Donald Trump ready for that now? Goodbye for now.